Your intuition is always spot on, even when it feels wrong. It may not always make sense, but it's always guiding you to the path that is best for you. Here's a funny story. A couple of weeks ago, my mom and brother arranged to meet me at a mall, but they didn't tell me where exactly. When I got there, I decided to let my intuition guide me instead of calling them. As I was about to walk into the mall, my gut told me to go to the left, which was very weird because the left side was just the back of the mall. There's nothing there. And I thought, why is my intuition telling me to go that way? But being the person who has learned to trust and follow my intuition, I'm like, okay, fine, why not? Let's follow my intuition. I went left, and sure enough, there was nothing. No signs, no repeated numbers like 111, nothing. Just some workers packing their stuff. So I wondered, is my intuition wrong? Why did it lead me here? But I was like, okay, never mind. Let me just enter the mall first. As I went inside the mall, I got another gut feeling. This time, it told me to head straight to this cafe on the far end called Fun Toast. I was so sure my family were there, but when I reached there, they weren't there. I was so certain that they were there that I even stood outside of the cafe, staring into the cafe, checking every single customer carefully, just to make sure that I didn't miss them. But still nothing. So I thought, okay, maybe my intuition is a little bit off today. Let me check the cafe next door. Same thing, I was peeking in, scanning the tables, but still no luck. At this point, I was thinking like maybe it wasn't my intuition after all. Maybe it's just some random noise in my head or body sensation that I felt. Then I felt it again for the third time, this gut feeling. This time, my gut told me to turn around, head straight to the escalator, and go downstairs. As I walked towards the escalator, guess what happened? My mom and my brother were coming up the escalator, literally right in front of me. They didn't even notice me until I walked up and say hi. And they were so surprised. They say like, how do you find us here? And I just say like, intuition. But then I added, my intuition was not that accurate today. It led me to Fun Toast just now. I thought you all were sipping coffee and tea, but you weren't there. My brother laughed and said, no, your intuition was right. We were there. We were at Fun Toast before you came. And suddenly it all clicked. It turned out that my gut wasn't wrong after all. I should have doubted it. There are three things I want to share with you in this video. First, our intuition doesn't always make sense, but it always guides us to where we need to be. Take my story for example. My intuition nudged me to go left before entering the shopping mall. I had no idea why, because there was literally nothing to the left. My logical mind immediately dismissed it and went, what's the point? There's nothing there. And when nothing important was there, it's easy to judge like, well, my intuition must have been wrong. But no, it wasn't. That detour was exactly what I needed. It turned out that the timing worked out perfectly. You see, my family was a moving target. They were moving from one place to another. I could have just followed the trail, entered the mall, went to the Fun Toast directly, moved to the next location. But then I would always be one step behind my family. I would miss my family entirely. The so-called wrong path actually put me in the right place at the right time. Our intuition and the universe wisdom are so much wiser that our limited mind cannot comprehend. This happens a lot in our life too. Have you like ever met someone who's like super friendly and charming, but they give you this weird uneasy feeling and you don't know why? It doesn't add up logically, but something just feels off. So you keep your distance. Later you find out that they weren't who they seem to be or say they are. So that's your intuition protecting you. Or maybe you have spent time, money, and energy pursuing a certain path, like studying for a certain career, becoming an investor, or training to be a musician. And then out of nowhere, your gut tells you to drop everything and just change course. It doesn't make sense. You might think like, but I really invested so much in this, I can't just throw everything away. That was me. That's my story. I studied animation for 2.5 years, worked as an animator for 6 months, and then my intuition said, nope, this isn't it. It was hard, but I listened to my intuition, and it was the best decision of my life. It saved me years of going down a path that didn't feel right to me. The truth is, intuition rarely makes sense in the moment. It might tell you to leave someone you love, and you're like, huh? Or they ask you to take a lower paying job when you want more money, and you're like, why? Your logical mind will fight it because it wants reason and proof. But that's not how intuition works. People always say trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling. But what does that even mean? It means having faith in something even when there's no evidence. Do you trust your intuition when you don't know the full picture? When it feels like the longer or harder path? When it just makes no sense at all? Do you follow your intuition despite a lack of evidence? This is trust. Here's the thing. When there's a lack of proof, that is actually the perfect moment to test your ability to trust. You will still get the evidence to support your intuition, but your intuition often makes sense in hindsight. Once you follow it, you will understand the purpose or get a full picture. You will get the proof that you were on the right path all along. And the more you trust it, the easier it gets next time. The second thing I want to share is our mind often assume that the shortest, most direct path is the best one. If you want to make money, just give me the money right now, right? Like, just let me strike the lottery. If you want the perfect partner, just let that appear magically in front of me. Or our minds will think very linearly. Like, if you want money or relationship, we have to do A, then B, then C. For example, like get a job, save up, then invest. But life usually doesn't work that way. The universe isn't going to hand you the address of your soulmate and say, here, go knock on the door and live happily ever after. That's the ego, right? That is the impatient. It wants everything now. It wants to be productive, efficient, and get result instantly. You post a video and you want it to go viral right away. That's the impatience of the modern world. But the thing is, your relationship with the universe isn't like a parent child relationship. You can't pout or throw a tangent and expect result. It doesn't work that way. You and the universe are partners, co-creators. The universe will give you everything you desire, but only if you align with your desire. If you want abundance, you can't operate from a place of lack or impatience. If you want freedom, you can't feel trapped or powerless. The journey to your desire isn't always as straightforward as your mind imagines it to be. Like in my case, I left my job as an accountant and moved to Malaysia to become an animator. The job turned out to be a poor fit for me, but it eventually led me to writing and a spiritual awakening. Did I need to go through such a big detour to become a writer? Probably not. But back then, I wasn't ready to be a full time writer. I wasn't in the right mindset. I had written my first book, but it took me 9 months to write it. And I didn't want to write another one. I didn't want to go through the process again. Plus, I wasn't ready to abandon everything I invested in animation, like over $20,000 and 2.5 years of study, just so that I become a writer. I needed to take the detour to fully experience what it was like to be an animator so I could really realize that it wasn't for me. Your intuition will always guide you in ways you're ready for. The best path is the path of least resistance, the one you're willing to take right now. Sometimes the faster way to your desire isn't the best way. You might reach your goal quickly, only to feel underwhelmed when you get there. I'm sure you have experienced something like this. Like you achieve something you thought you wanted, but when you get it or when it's done, you feel meh, like so what? Like even if you go viral or win $1 million, then what? Is that the end? Like the ego make it seems like the destination is everything, but it's not. Your soul doesn't care about the thing so much. What it wants is the journey, the experiences, the feeling of joy, love, and freedom along the way. The thing only give you a short burst of happiness. If you are a creator, you will know this because the joy is in the creating, not just the outcome. You keep going, you keep doing what you do because the fun is in the process. Your intuition is carving out a journey for you. It's showing you the flowers, the beautiful sky along the way, the surprises that you didn't expect. Sure, my intuition can lead me to my family directly, but I've done that before, so what's the fun in it? Sometimes it throws in some detours just to test your faith and keep things interesting. I ended up meeting my family at such perfect timing that I never could have planned it on my own. So when your intuition lead you to an unexpected detour, stay open to it. Maybe there's a lesson to learn, an insight to gain, or it's just a distraction pulling you away from the wrong path. Your intuition isn't just about guiding you to destination, it's about the experience. If you feel called to move somewhere, take a certain job, or start a relationship, trust it. That job or relationship might not last forever, but there's always something to learn along the way. So stay open, trust the journey. Third, your intuition doesn't always tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what you need to hear. Your ego may get bruised in the process. Sometimes we don't get what we think we want, and we blame our intuition for it. But your intuition isn't wrong. It's just that what your ego desire isn't always what's best for you. Maybe your intuition told you not to pursue a relationship, but you went for it anyway because you were convinced it was what you wanted. Or maybe your intuition told you to slow down, but you kept pushing forward at full speed. And then you get the relationship or goal you were chasing, but you end up feeling unhappy, maybe even drained or sick. But you see, your intuition is not like a parent telling you what to do. It doesn't say you can't marry that person or you can't take that job. It's more like a messenger from your soul, guiding you towards what you truly desire, not what your ego wants. And sometimes these two things don't align with each other. If you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled, it might be because what you're chasing isn't aligned with your soul desires. Your intuition is always pointing you towards something that resonates with your soul, even if it's not what you plan for yourself. And if you ignore it, it's okay, there's no big deal. Your intuition doesn't give up on you. Its role, its job is like a GPS. It will recalibrate, reroute, and guide you back when you're ready to listen. You are never truly lost. Your intuition might not make sense to others or even to your logical mind. It might not be what your ego wants to hear, but when you follow your intuition, you are always on the right path. Always. Is your intuition calling you to move to a new country or travel? Check out this next video. I will share my story with you.